Imagine this: you're driving home late at night. The road is quiet, the hum of the tires fills the silence, and suddenly, a child darts into the street. Your foot slams the brake. It's a split-second decision, one you barely had time to make. For more than a century, these moments, these human reactions, have determined life or death on our roads. But what if the future didn't rely on human reflexes at all? What if technology could see danger coming before we ever could? Every year, millions of accidents happen not because of faulty machines, but because of human flaws. Fatigue clouds our judgment. Text messages steal our focus. Stress and anger distort our decisions. Even the best drivers make mistakes. Mistakes that can cost lives. Now imagine a driver that doesn't get tired, doesn't text, doesn't lose its temper. A driver designed from the ground up to eliminate human imperfection. That's the promise of Waymo. Not just building another car, but creating a driver that isn't human at all. Waymo's driver is not a person. It's an advanced system of software and hardware working in perfect sync. Where we see through two eyes, Waymo sees in 360 degrees, day or night. Its lidar sends out millions of laser pulses every second, mapping the environment in 3 dimensions with astonishing precision. Radar cuts through rain and fog, tracking objects hundreds of meters away. Cameras capture color and detail, while ultrasound detects close-range movement. Each sensor cross-checks the other, building a layered, redundant picture of the world. If one system misses something, another catches it. This redundancy eliminates the single points of failure that plague human senses. It's a kind of superhuman vision that never blinks, never gets distracted, and never looks away. But perception is only part of the story. Seeing is one thing. Understanding is another. Waymo's AI doesn't just observe the road. It predicts it. Powered by machine learning and billions of miles of driving experience, both in the real world and in simulation, it can anticipate how other road users might behave. A cyclist signaling a turn. A pedestrian glancing toward the crosswalk. Car edging too close to the lane divider. These subtle cues often go unnoticed by humans, but Waymo's driver processes them instantly, calculating not just what's happening now, but what's likely to happen next. This predictive ability comes from something called behavioral modeling. Waymo has trained its systems on an immense dataset of scenarios, real and simulated, teaching the AI to recognize patterns of human behavior on the road. In fractions of a second, it evaluates thousands of possibilities and chooses the safest path forward. Unlike a human driver, whose judgment might vary from day to day, Waymo's decisions are consistent, tested, and validated against a rigorous safety framework. This goes far beyond what we expect from human drivers, who simply take a test, get a license, and are trusted on the road. One of Waymo's greatest strengths lies in its simulations. Inside its virtual simulation city, Waymo can create and test scenarios that are too rare, too dangerous, or too unpredictable to practice in the real world. Imagine simulating 1 million cars running red lights, or thousands of children chasing balls into the street, or a sudden downpour that floods an intersection. In this digital environment, Waymo's driver faces billions of miles of challenges without ever risking a real human life. These simulations are not just tests, they are adversarial training, deliberately designed to push the system to its limits, to try to break it, and to make it stronger each time. This creates a continuous learning loop. Data from real-world driving feeds into simulations refine the AI, and the AI then performs better in the real world. It's an ever-evolving cycle that makes the system smarter and safer with every mile, something no human driver could ever achieve. Of course, trust is one of the biggest hurdles. Many people still question whether a machine can really make moral decisions on the road. Debates like the trolley problem, choosing between 2 bad outcomes, often come up in discussions about autonomous cars. But Waymo approaches safety not with hypotheticals, but with transparency and real-world data. The company has released safety reports, invited public scrutiny, and committed to ongoing education, aiming to show that its technology is not just futuristic, but practical and trustworthy. Skeptics also worry about control. Handing over the wheel to a computer feels unsettling for many. But the truth is, humans already rely on technology in countless invisible ways. From autopilot on planes to algorithms that guide medical decisions, to the very navigation systems we use when driving. The shift to autonomous cars is less about surrendering control and more about trusting systems that are demonstrably safer than we are. The vision Waymo offers is compelling. A world where traffic accidents, the leading cause of death for young people, drop dramatically. Where people can travel without fear of a distracted driver running a red light. Where mobility is extended to the elderly, the visually impaired, and others who cannot drive today. Streets become calmer, cleaner, and more efficient. Trips that once felt stressful become simple. The very idea of transportation is redefined, not around machines we operate, but around systems that operate for us. This isn't science fiction anymore. Waymo has already logged millions of miles on public roads, carrying passengers safely without a human driver behind the wheel. Each mile builds confidence in a future where self-driving technology isn't an experiment, but an everyday reality. The road ahead is not without challenges. Regulations, infrastructure, and public perception still stand in the way. But step by step, test by test, mile by mile, Waymo is paving the way forward. We stand at a crossroads in history. For over 100 years, driving has been an inherently human act, full of risk and imperfection. But now, for the first time, we have the tools to design a driver who doesn't share those flaws. A driver who sees more, reacts faster, and makes safer choices. The question is not whether machines can be better drivers than humans. The question is how quickly we're willing to let them prove it. The promise of a safer, smarter, more reliable way to move is no longer just a dream. With Waymo leading the charge, it's a future coming into focus. 1 mile at a time,